Yo, what's up, guys? It's RhythmActual here. I'm going to be going over a weapons tier list for Bloodhunt. It's a free game that you can check out on Steam right now. It's a completely new kind of take on the battle royale genre. It feels a lot like Guns and Hyperscape put together is how I would put it, but it's definitely got its own feel to it, and it's certainly worth a try. So if you're a new player, if you're an experienced player, you might agree or disagree with my takes on this, but I have about 50 hours in the game. I have a 12, I don't even know, something like that KD, and I average about like 2,800 damage a game right now. I've got a little bit of time in the game, and this is just kind of where I feel like things are right now. We'll just roll straight into it. This list doesn't have melee weapons on it, but if you're thinking about melee weapons, I'll pretty much just tell you S tier is going to be your katana and the dual blades that you'll find around. Dual blades have an active ability that can help you dash at enemies, that can help you escape, cross, longer gaps between the certain buildings to maybe stay up on the high ground more often, which is incredibly important in this game if you guys haven't picked up on that yet. So I would definitely say katana, dual blades, S tier. Anything else, you might as well pick it up. You'll always regain HP off of melee hits, so it's definitely worth it to still pick up the other melee weapons, but no matter what, either katana or the dual blades, just based off of DPS, is always going to be more worth. So diving into the AK, I actually think the AK is A tier. Only reason I'm not putting it at S tier is, no, it's S tier. We'll put AK S tier because it does get a gold AK. In Bloodhunt, the different rarities of the weapons, so green, blue, purple, and gold, they actually don't do any different damage, but they do have a higher fire rate, the higher, color you get, and a faster reload speed. So they're definitely worth it to pick up, the better versions. A gold AK is insane. The fire rate on it is really high. You're able to put out an insane amount of DPS really quickly, so that's why we'll throw it in S tier, and we'll actually throw in the SMG is S tier as well because it does get that gold, and it works as an insane close range weapon. The AK can be your mid-range to close range. It works for those. Long range, it does have a little bit of the damage fall off. It's a bit harder to hit, but I would definitely suggest an AK or an SMG if you're a mid-range kind of player, or you like to get really up close and personal. That SMG is going to be your best friend. Insane damage output on the SMG when you're up close, especially if you get the gold one. Sounds insane, and it just, people never expect it. You can drop like 2 people with 1 mag if you hit your shots. Those 2 guns are absolutely bonkers. The dual crossbows, not worth the weapon slot. I would actually like to see him just take them out of the game. I played a lot of Hyperscape when it came out, and the launchers in that game absolutely ruined it. The dual crossbows, if you're not aware, work as like launchers. The green ones are absolutely horrible. You get to shoot 2 bullets, and you have to reload forever. You would be better off, unironically, with the starter pistol. I think they should just get rid of these. I think launchers in general in this game would actually hurt it a lot. I don't think anybody in, shooters, third person or first person, really enjoys to just get launchers shot at them nonstop. It gets really frustrating, especially when they do get like buffed, which I hope they don't do. I hope they just decide that maybe we shouldn't go the launcher route. I really don't want to see this game kind of turn into another Hyperscape. I think it's much, much better. I think the dev team's wonderful, and I just can't stress it enough. Please don't buff these. Don't pick these up though if you want to win the game. Some of you might disagree, but I promise. Sniper, bolt action, I guess you could say. There is a bit of a rechambering time after a shot. Really good. 160 to the head will full crack somebody and really give you that opportunity to push. You're able to hold off your teammates if they need to heal or anything, kind of like in this clip here. I've been sleeping on the Tommy too long. I hit 160 on one, 160 on one. 160 on another?
I'm healing.
Yeah, you guys are good. Holding. One's getting angles right here, careful. 160 to another? Yeah. On top of that, I mean, it really does like hit hard, even at the body. I mean, 80 a body shot. If you have the cover for your team, you're getting hard psychoed, you can do some pretty cool things. It is pretty much hit scan, 100% accurate, no damage fall off or anything like that. So definitely suggest picking it up if you like to aim. If you like to play a little more, long range, it's definitely the one right here for you. It does have a pretty good hip fire accuracy as well. So if you're going to get pushed, you can sometimes hit that, that quick scope and then swap to whatever your secondary might be and get the finish. Definitely worth picking up though. Dual pistols, I'm going to put in C tier. They're not bad. They're not great, but they're not bad. They have their moments. If you're, off spawn and you got to fight or anything like that, I would definitely pick these up over like dual crossbows or the marksman rifle, which we'll get into here in a bit. Magnum, I'm putting in S tier. No damage fall off, 45 to the body, 90 to the head. I can't tell you how many times I 4-tap people in this game with these things, sometimes 3-tap. It is so easy to open up with big damage and then send in. I actually think it's better than the sniper because you can use it close range. The hip fire accuracy is insane. Even if you get pushed, like you can out-trade people with this thing a lot of the time if you hit your shots. The thing about it though is it does require, a little bit of aiming. If you're not the best aimer in the world and you know it, maybe you don't really like flicking, you like tracking kind of weapons more, you know, the SMG or the AK is probably much better for you, which is totally fine. Everybody's got their own play style. For me, I actually think the Magnum's the best gun in the game. I've played a lot of Apex in my time, so the Wingman's always been one of my favorite weapons. It just feels amazing. It feels so good just to hit shots like this. What the What in the hell was that, man? So next up, we got the LMG. I'm gonna put it in B tier because if you get a purple LMG, you can do some pretty nasty things with it. It's pretty good, but I think green or blue are pretty much not worth it. If you see a green AK, I would take a green AK over, you know, a green or blue LMG. Purple LMG does go hard. Fire rate and the reload time's much better on it, and it feels a lot better. I would definitely go with that over, you know, these weapons, but at the end of the day, I think the AK is a much better mid-range weapon. Shotguns are broken in this game. Some people might disagree. I know we've kind of asked around the community a bit, me and some of the other like players who have like similar stats with me, and you know, we have a decent amount of time in the game. I've noticed that there is a disconnect somewhere. We feel like it's broken. I can, you know, fly into a team by myself with a purple shotgun, two-tap people almost, without them really even knowing. I just think they're a little too good. You can hit, you know, 120 to the body with a green pump or a green double barrel shotgun, and they just go super hard. So yeah, I'm gonna put this up here too. Actually, you know what? We'll throw this down in B. So the reason I'm putting the double barrel in B, if you don't get a higher tier one, so blue or purple, the reload speed can kind of really hurt you. Whereas obviously with the pump shotgun, you get more in the chamber. I know purple pump shotgun gets 8 shots, which is just insane, and a higher fire rate and a faster reload time. I would definitely say the double barrel. If you don't get, you know, a purple or maybe even a blue, it doesn't feel as good as the pump. The pump shotgun, I think, is a problem. I would really love to see it kind of get tweaked a little bit, whether that's, you know, we lower the fire rate, we lower the size of the mag, or maybe we do like a max damage gets lowered a little bit, because right now, I mean, 120 is just a lot, especially with the rechambering speed on it. So the minigun's fun to meme on, but I think I actually think it gets dumpstered by all of these guns. The ramp up time is really balanced, I would say. I don't want to see this thing get super buffed, and if it does, I think they need to make it in a centralized location. There's got to be something you got to do to get it that alarms the other players. So maybe there's a bunch of entities around it, which are those NPCs that you see with the red lasers in the game. Maybe it's kind of in a centralized location with a bunch of those, and you have to, you know, kill them all to get it. And when you pick it up, it sets a giant alarm off for everybody in the map to know. You know, something like that I think would be really cool, but right now it's just, it feels random when you find it. It doesn't feel great to use. I mean, you can do some cool stuff with it if no one's paying attention to you, but like a lot of the time if somebody runs up on me with a minigun, I'm going to beam them with SMG, an AK, or this, just because the ramp up time on that minigun is so high and the range on it's so bad. They have to get in your face to really get you with it. So I'm going to throw it in A tier just because it's a minigun, but I actually don't think it beats these weapons out. Next up, we have the burst rifle. I'd give it a B. I have some fun on it sometimes, but I think it needs to be a purple for it to be, you know, competitive at the end game. I don't think you can go into the end game with the green burst rifle. It doesn't have the stats that it needs to really compete, which is fine. I think a purple one feels good. You get them off the entities, so you kind of got to do something for them, but most of the time, me personally, I'm not hunting the entities down to get a burst rifle. You know what I mean? If I find it off somebody's body after I got respawned in by a teammate or something like that, then I'll use it, but I don't actively seek out a burst rifle like I do, you know, a Magnum, a pump shotgun, an AK, or the SMG. So I actually think the starter pistol is in the C tier here. Not the worst weapon in the game, by the way. We actually won a game. It's going to be another video sometime later this week, only using the starter pistol and melee weapons. This thing actually shreds up close. If you hit your shots, especially headshots, you can really sneak up on people with it, and you know, it's competitive, which feels good. You know, it feels good to have a weapon that you spawn with off a respawn, and you know that you're not going to get absolutely thrashed. Like you have a chance to do some DPS and maybe make a trade, or, you know, help your teammates out. Tommy gun, I'm going to put in A tier. I think the Tommy's awesome. Blue, purple Tommy gun, amazing, fun to use. But at the end of the day, the gold SMG it's a gold SMG. You know, it's meant to be good. It's meant to be strong and better than other guns, so that's fine. But the gold SMG, it is just night and day. If you're in a close range battle with a Tommy gun compared to, you know, a gold SMG, the gold SMG will always feel better. Just my opinion. Not a bad gun though. This gun's stupid. I'm going to put it in A tier. I won't put it in S tier. I do think it needs to be tweaked a bit in some way. If you guys don't know what this weapon is, this is the crossbow. It shoots that gas cloud out. A lot of people sometimes get a little confused with the gas traps, but it is actually a weapon that you can do direct impact damage with. So to the body is 100, and I believe to a headshot is 160. And it instantly puts out a cloud of smoke that instantly ticks you the second that you're in it. So if you get direct impacted, like body checked by one, and you get headshot for 160 because someone's jumping over you or something something like that, that gas will instantly start ticking out and you'll pretty much be one shot just right away. I don't think it should reward as much for missing. I think right now it's a great zoning tool, but I also think the damage on the cloud needs to ramp up a little bit more to make it more balanced. But I would definitely put it in the A tier. Huge AoE cloud. Does a good amount of damage, good for zoning, forcing people out of their cover in late games. You can do some cool stuff with it. Definitely a fun gun to use. Not very good close range. Like I said, you can definitely direct impact somebody with it and do a lot of damage, but the reload speed on it, since you only have one arrow at a time, can definitely hurt you if you miss your shot. You can use it to cover yourself though, because you don't take your own damage from gas. So if you were to shoot your feet when you're getting pushed and then swap to like a shotgun or an SMG or something like that, that'd be a really good play to make with it. Kind of like if you were to play the Saboteur class and you threw a trap at your feet while you're getting, hard psychoed by a team. Next up, we have the toggler. I'm gonna throw it in the C tier. I don't think it's that great. I'm not going out of my way to find a toggler. I'm gonna put the LMG in C tier too, actually. Yeah, I think these two are kind of the same, in the same boat. Toggler's okay. You can put it on full auto if you hit B, which is a default bind to switch the firing mode, but I don't think it's that great. Like I said, these weapons are not terrible. They're good to use off drop, but I would not carry these the entire game. They serve a really weird niche kind of like purpose, and I just don't see it. Marksman rifle is really weird. I'm not sure what purpose it fills. When you ADS with it, you'll still do like a zoom in, but it's a shouldered zoom. It's not a scope like this sniper rifle with this one. And I don't know. I think maybe if it hit a little harder, less ammo in the mag, maybe a 10 ammo max, hits a little bit harder, has a scope, it would be a lot better. But right now, I'm picking it up if I have to, not because I want to. I definitely don't think it's like a great gun by any means. So this tier list is just to show you that the best weapons, if you want to win every single game, if you want to just do high damage all the time and things like that, this is the list that you're going to want to use. You're going to want to keep these in mind, and these are the weapons you're going to want to be looking for out there. This is kind of my tier list. This is where I'm sitting at. Let me know what you guys think about this tier list in the comments below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and let me know what you guys think. And then check out my other videos for Bloodhunt. There's a solos tier list and a trios tier list as well. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Thank you. Tune in to twitch.tv/RhythmActual. I'll be streaming Bloodhunt pretty much every chance I get, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And yeah, have a good one.